excited with the Mets. The Knicks are the Knicks are raw sewage.
I know.
The Mets are gold.
The Mets are going to be so good.
They're going to be so good. You watch. The Mets will start the year off 9-3, and then go on a 37-game win.
That's what happens. The Mets always start off like 9-3, 10-2, and then Marc has like a 3-month orgasm until he realizes they're like 40 games under 500.
Hey, they almost made the playoffs last year. They have a good team. They're getting better.
Hello, baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Brink of Sanity, episode 330. Do you guys know what today is?
Before we go forward, I'd like to make a motion to change the name of our podcast.
Okay.
Wait, Jay had wanted to make a joke, and you're just like, Jay, you don't get to make your joke. I'm going to make my joke instead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, see, Marc usually does that, so Bri took over the role this time.
Bri, congratulations on stepping to the plate of ruining Jay's joke.
Oh, thank you.
So what's the name of the show?
The Kobe Bryant Memorial Podcast.
Is this being hosted
so
by...
we're going to bash Kobe Bryant and lose our last remaining fans.
Is it being hosted by LeBron?
Has the hysteria died down yet, or?
Are you going to make like jokes like maybe he shouldn't have been using helicopter parenting?
That's a good one. I like that. No, I think Rachel Nichols actually had something to do with it because she's like all up LeBron's ass about like he should be the MVP now because Kobe died, and so I'm starting to think she might have tampered with the engine.
I do like how you've been all over Twitter talking about how LeBron is Bri's been all over Twitter making that how is LeBron going to make Kobe's death all about him, and he has.
Right on cue, yeah. Even to the fact he said Kobe came down and took over his body when he made some stupid dunk the other day.
That was as insane a statement that I've ever read from a human being.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, dude, like really, you have to make this about yourself. Do you imagine him sitting around, hey guys, Kobe and his daughter died. That's really horrible that we haven't got out in front of this. We have to think of a good idea to like really memorialize this in my honor.
Yeah, at first I thought it was
Kevin Durant sitting there saying, geez, if I died in a helicopter crash, people might actually like me.
I mean, at first I thought, this is just Bri being cynical. And then LeBron came out with tattoos and body possessions. And like...
He got tattoos?
Yeah, he got like a Kobe tattoo, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bri and I have been exchanging like LeBron links about how he's been making it about himself. Nobody wants any part of it, by the way. Nobody's liking or retweeting.
No,
anything.
I know. Yeah.
Do you think Kobe's hearing this? He's like, obviously, like, let's say he's up in heaven or whatever the hell if he can hear this, and he's like, LeBron, I don't even like you. Why are you doing this? Is there any evidence that Kobe really liked LeBron?
I mean, it's so over the top. It's like, oh, let's name let's make Kobe the logo. Let's name the awards after him. I heard somebody say that the WNBA should name one of their awards after his daughter. It's like, first of all, somebody else died who is actually more valuable to the NBA than Kobe Bryant, and that's David Stern. And nobody seems to give a shit that he died.
I mean, I was under the impression that he was one of the most hated NBA players.
Like, nobody gave a shit about him the day before. The only reason the name came up is because LeBron passed him on the scoring title or whatever.
Right.
Which would have made me want to crash into a mountain too, but
it was clearly he's a beloved player. It's weird how like the whole like that one woman came out and said what about the fact that he raped someone and she got fired from her job, right?
Yeah.
It's weird how that whole thing was like, and again, he could have been completely innocent, but it's weird how that was like it's weird how he that happened and people were like, oh my God, and then his public image just got better from there.
It's weird, like he died and we're supposed to pretend the rape didn't happen. Michael Jackson died and we're supposed to pretend his music didn't happen.
That's true. That could be people would retweet that one, Jay. Maybe if they didn't hate you for just saying it. It was a good statement, though. I like that.
3 minutes later, our account's just banned.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, back to where I started.
Oh yeah,
5
Jay,
minutes
you had
ago.
a joke.
It wasn't a joke. It wasn't a joke.
Oh,
Today is the 12-year anniversary of when Brink started.
no kidding.
12
Right.
years.
So you are making a joke. 'Cause this is a joke, right? A 12-year long joke.
12 years, people are still waiting for our first joke.
Let's go for the behind the scenes, Jay. Or just
12
like
years a slave, 12 years a podcast.
It's
these are some good
probably,
lines.
it's probably 11 and a half for Mark, but still.
Okay, so Jay, take me back. What made you just start the like? What was the what made you start the podcast? How did you get the idea?
It was similar to what made me start my public access show. I was listening to other comedy podcasts, and I said, these aren't that good. I can also do a mediocre podcast, which is the exact thought I had when I was watching public access. I'm like, this show sucks. I can make a sucky show too.
What were you listening to? What podcasts?
I was listening to Nobody Likes Onions, which is actually still going,
Okay.
and Red Bar Radio, which is also still going.
You talk a lot about Red Bar. I know you're a fan of that one.
I was. That I thought the humor changed like.
So how long you were listening? How long between when you thought about it? Like how long this actually? How long were you like, let's do this. We'll do it and it happens tomorrow. How long? Take us through the process, Jay.
I was thinking about it for not too long, maybe a couple months, and then that's when I contacted Brian because I was like, well, Brian and I had a radio show and we had pretty good chemistry on that.
Right. So Jay contacts you with this really brilliant idea.
Yeah.
What's your thought when he tells you this?
I was like, oh, geez. What the hell? This was before everybody on Earth had a podcast. So
Yeah.
So did you think the idea for podcast was not a good one, or did you think that like you and Jay doing a show was not a good one?
I was like, well, I thought it had possibilities. I was like, it'll take us 5-10 years probably to figure out what kind of show we want to do, but we might as well, take a stab at it.
Okay.
It was also back to like what we say now, like even if nobody's listening, we get to hang out. I think in like the 2 years Bri and I lived together, I don't think I've ever hung out with another human being as much as I hung out with Bri. And so it was like kind of like a chance to just hang out again because we're in different states. We get to see each other like hardly
when
ever.
When you started doing the show, how long a time had you guys not really like hung out?
So 2000
Probably a couple of years.
Yeah, not too. I mean, we started in 2008. I guess we stopped hanging out a lot in like 2001.
Oh, so 7 years.
When did you leave Boston?
2002.
It was probably that because I came up a lot when you were in Quincy and.
Right. Yeah. So 2002, 2003. So maybe like 5.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Brian, been to see since the show started in the 12 years. You've seen Jay what, twice?
Maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I came once for SantaCon. Went to the Met game last year.
And Beastie Boys, right?
Beastie Boys, and I think there's one other time.
We could barely count Beastie Boys because we both blacked out, so like, we barely remember that.
Beastie Boys might have been before that, actually.
Maybe.
But I don't remember.
I feel like I was living in Stuytown at the time.
Okay. So what was your hope for the show when we first started?
Oh, way more than it is now. Like I hoped for it to become a popular comedy podcast.
Oh, so you had like absurd dreams.
Oh yeah, like like Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Is there anything else you could be doing for 12 years that you'd be like more like disappointed in? Its lack of success.
I'll let you know in 2 years when the Knicks podcast
taking the CPA.
I was trying to think of that. Like, I just randomly was thinking about like we've been doing this for a long time. If someone that doesn't know you, you'd be like, "Oh, I have this podcast." Or they're like, "Oh, you've been doing it for a little while." 12 years. Oh, is it really popular? No. Almost no one listens.
We have less than 200 listeners, but 12 years.
Yeah, I was thinking like, what if you had like your side project, and a different like let's say you had some porn site and your side project was this porn site you were working on for 12 years and no one really went to it, and people would be like, you've been spending all that time putting together, but no one goes there. Yeah, it's just a project I like doing. That would be weirder than this, I guess. But this is still pretty weird, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it depends how much effort you put in. Like, if we
Mm.
did this podcast 5 days a week and we still had no following, like, that would be really creepy.
Yeah.
We put as little effort as you can put in for 12 years of work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Sorry, we as in Brian and I, since we do nothing for the show. Jay, you put a little more effort, obviously.
Yeah, but it's still not a lot. I mean, we could be doing a lot more for both podcasts, really.
Right. I mean, I would tell anyone that it's just like a hobby because it's fun. It's just fun to like find time to talk about this stuff.
The problem is there's only so many hours in the day, and it's hard to balance everything. When you do one thing, you have to take away from something else. So you have to decide, like, we could do another podcast, but then, Mark's not spending time with his kids, or, I'm not playing PlayStation. Bry's not gambling all his money.
By the way, those are two equally valid ways to spend your time.
I would argue equally.
PlayStation's raising children, totally equal.
I mean, I love my PlayStation more than I love your kids.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah, like there's like a New York. So there's a Nick's, Nick, whatever the Nick is. It's like a YouTube channel that's gotten popular in the Nick world, and they seem like they put a lot of effort. I just checked it out once or twice. But would you really want to have like your face up on YouTube every week?
No, I mean, we used to update our Nick's website every single day, and that was a lot of work.
This show's getting super depressing. You want to talk about something else?
Yeah. Let's talk about
Brian, what do you think of the show? 12 years, like, this is what you expected out of the show?
Yeah, it's about the same as the first episode, only you're on it.
Yeah, exactly, really. It's like, what was it 12 years from now? What will things be like? Let's see, we'll add someone else. That'll really be the difference. That'll be the difference between this and now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jay, are you excited for Buttigieg?
No, not at all.
I thought you would be. I thought you were all about Buttigieg.
Oh, a centrist guy who's bought by big corporations? No, thank you.
I thought just because you were running as Mr. Brink of Sanity for president, and he has slightly more experience than you, and he has a shot at being president. So that you'd be a contender also.
That is true. I do like how he's splitting Biden's votes.
It is. So before the show, Jay was what was the thing about how the moderates versus the liberals in the vote?
Well, yeah, one of my friends was complaining that the liberals, Sanders and Warren, only have 35% of the vote, and the moderates have over 50% between Buttigieg, Biden, and Klobuchar. And
so pick a damn candidate.
He said, yeah, that's the thing. He said that's not fair because more people are voting for centrists, but it doesn't go by ideologies; it goes by people. So you can't really do that.
Yeah. It is kind of funny if they just picked one candidate, they'd probably win assuming people are voting along ideologies.
But, I mean, that's his argument, but the problem is the center people aren't great candidates. That's why they're not getting more of the vote.
So I heard this argument that I really liked for the election was that because people have been complaining that the Bernie voters are not if you support Biden and they ask you, if Biden does not get the nomination, will you support whoever the Democratic nominee is? And the Biden supporters say yes, they will pretty much. But the Bernie supporters say there's a certain large percentage of them that say I will not necessarily support another candidate.
Yeah,
you've heard that, right?
Yeah, but that's also bullshit because more Bernie supporters voted for Hillary in 2016 than Hillary supporters voted for Obama in 2012. So.
I've heard that, but let's just say you really believe if you believe the Bernie supporters will not support other candidates, but everyone else's voters will support any candidate, including Bernie, then you're kind of forced to vote Bernie if your goal is just to beat Trump. Because voting Bernie, just like a logic problem here, gets the most voters. Because you get all the voters from every other candidate plus the Bernie voters.
Plus, he's polling better against Trump than any other candidate.
Yeah, I just thought I was like, oh, that's really good logic. Yeah, like if you don't believe the Bernie supporters will vote for any other candidate, then you have to vote Bernie if your goal is to beat Trump.
Yeah, I've been posting that on different sites, and people get really mad.
Like your boss, because that's what you're doing instead of working.
No, that's applying for jobs,
okay.
Which makes them equally as mad, by the way.
Either way, you're like, listen, I didn't send my resume to this random site, so you should be happy about that at least.
There was a, we have a pretty extensive spam filter, and today I got an email through that was from a guy saying like, "Hey, we have like finance jobs. Are you interested?" And I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I'm like, "How did this get through the spam filter?" And the girl I work with is like, "Well, what if it's an actual real job opportunity?" I said, "Well, I didn't say I wasn't going to respond to it. I was just wondering why it got through the spam filter."
Well, you didn't think it was a real job opportunity, or?
It seemed like it was just the guy who was. I mean, he's a real recruiter from a real recruiting firm, but he wasn't specifically targeting me. I think he was just emailing everybody in the company.
Yeah. Do you guys get phishing? Do you guys get phishing emails at work? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say phishing?
Through the company or real phishing ones?
Like real one. Like you get ones where you're like, you're worried about clicking on the link because you think I'm going to get like a virus or something's going to happen to our computer.
Oh, not really. Our company makes fake ones to test us in case those come through. And if we fall for it, we have like a phishing button on our email, and if we fall for it and don't hit that phishing button more than twice, then you have to go to like a course and like prove that you learned your lesson and blah blah blah. And people fall for it all the time. It's so funny.
I mean, you hate your company. Do you go out of your way to click on every link just in case there is a chance that it's a real phishing email?
I'm like, please,
you're like,
please
let
be
me
a
take
virus.
this crap down. Do we have any Nigerian accounts? I'm just gonna click on the link. God damn it. I've heard they get like they're really like sophisticated. Like they'll do something where, let's say your coworker name, like the VP at your company is named John Smith. It'll be John Smith, and they'll make it like 2 H's at your company.com.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just make it like slightly different where like people just are not going to notice the difference.
Yeah. My company name begins with M, and so with the at part of the email, it says RN instead of M. So if you read it real quick, it looks like an M. So they try and fool you, but
I get these weird ones from so I'm in recruiting. I get these weird ones via LinkedIn where somehow they take someone's profile, like they'll send you this email. All the emails look kind of similar, where they're like, "I'm so and so. I'm looking like for a job," and they'll take stuff from the person's LinkedIn profile, put it in, like it makes it look like someone's really reaching out to you, but the person's from like the middle of Iowa or something like that, of looking for a job where like it doesn't make sense, and like the links, and they even like attach the resume because somehow maybe the person's uploaded their resume to LinkedIn. But I get these all the time where they look legit, and I'm pretty sure that I'll somehow screw our company if I click on them.
Maybe.
I don't know. Do you guys ever get ones via like LinkedIn?
No, haven't got those.
No. Maybe I'm just lucky. Bri, what's going on with you?
Oh, not much. It's pretty much the same old.
Okay, cool. Well, you brought a lot to the show.
Sorry. Yeah.
We got an email.
Oh, cool.
All right. So this is from Peter. He writes, "Missed you fools, Bri especially. Sending all the best. Let me know if you ever need another guest." Oh, we should have Peter. I've done only like one show with Peter. He's usually like the sub-in when I'm not on.
Yeah. We should have him back on soon.
I have no real life, but I do have some decent new tales to share. Good.
Perfect.
That probably wasn't to read on the air. So we'll move on. We will contact you soon, Peter. Lorenzo writes,
James like, our next email. Ooh, this person can make us #1 on Google search terms. Okay, perfect.
By the way, is there any way to stop that? Because we get like 10 of those a day. And
there's so many people out there. Like if you're legitimately in the business of trying to get companies, like small companies on like high up on Google search terms, I don't know how you get customers because there's 3,000 companies like competing for this job.
So I have my Gmail to pop up on my phone because I'm job hunting, but also my Gmail is also connected to the Brink and the Knicks podcast, and 10 to 20 times a day I get the #1 on Google email, and I get all excited thinking it's a job opportunity, and then it's that, and it's very annoying, and I don't know how to make it stop.
Why you just not have that account forward? Like, don't have the Knicks email forward to you.
I don't know. It's kind of like they're all linked, so that it all goes into one bucket on my phone, and I don't know how to undo that.
Okay. There's probably ways to undo that.
Maybe I'll just uninstall Gmail and just reinstall it and just link it to the one account. I might have to do
that might make more sense.
Because it's very annoying. Anyway, Lorenzo writes, "Hey guys, here is this episode's role play. Welcome to People's Court. Here's your host, Judge Bry. The defendant is Jay or Jay's solicitor, played by Jay. The plaintiff is Jay's black mold and or the black mold solicitor, played by Marc. The plaintiff is alleging it cannot sleep at night due to the defendant's snoring and sleep issues."
Okay.
Did you guys follow that?
Can you read it one more time?
So basically, Bry's the judge, and the black mold or the black mold solicitor is taking me to court because it can't sleep because I'm snoring.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
I am the black mold, and you are you, Jay?
Or the black mold's, attorney or whatever it is.
Okay.
I'll defend myself.
Okay. So going about this pro se, huh? You know what they say about someone that has himself attorney, whatever. Your Honor.
What
Well,
are they saying?
as the judge, I am ordering no witnesses in my courtroom.
What is this, an impeachment trial?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor.
Yes.
We have been in this home a lot longer than Jay has been here, and we are more productive to society than Jay is. We deserve a restful night's sleep.
I think I don't know the term, object, because it's conjecture saying that you're more productive to society.
You don't know what the word conjecture means. Exactly. See, he doesn't even know what the word conjecture means. Your Honor.
I think I used it right.
Your Honor, again, he even thinks he used it right, Your Honor. He does not understand these things. See, us as the mold, we know more about conjecture than he does. Hence the fact that he should be forced to move out.
This is kind of rigged because I'm going against somebody who went to law school.
Wait a minute. Is the mold black? Black mold?
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't call it
I find it favor of Jay.
Thank you. Court adjourned.
Wait, is Bloomberg going to lock me up?
That's where you could take your conjecture.
You had to have gotten stopped and frisked at least 4 times on the way in.
Yeah. There was a whole thing about Bloomberg, nothing against politics, but Bloomberg apparently was found a couple years ago saying, like, he's like, why were we stopping frisking in the minority neighborhoods? Because that's where the crime is. And then there was a whole, like, in the comment section, some people were like, stop and frisk is racist. And the other people were like, well, that's where the crime was. If you lived there, it was pretty dangerous. They needed stop and frisk.
Kind of on Bloomberg's side on this one.
Are you? What are you, Bri?
He's kind of got a point.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of got a point, but it also would, like, it's pretty awful if everyone's, like, everywhere you go, the people are just stopping and frisking you because, like, you're the wrong color.
Mm.
Right, but they found an exponentially amount more guns in those neighborhoods.
That was his point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, both, but it's kind of shitty then, like, you keep doing it and, like, people are you have people that are being locked up for, like, anything.
Right, but I don't know. Like, hold your people accountable, though.
I also think if you keep locking people up for, like, nonviolent offenses, and you create a culture where people feel like they need to carry guns, especially if they don't trust the police.
I don't know. This whole country's fucked up. It's a culture thing. It's not a police trust thing. It's a culture thing.
Okay, you know what? Actually, let's just move on.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the XFL?
I didn't see any of the games because I was watching all the Oscar movies on Saturday.
Let's move the Oscar movies in a second. But Jay, have you heard about the XFL?
I've heard of it. I don't even watch the NFL. I'm not going to watch the XFL.
It's the NFL, but like it's obviously now versus the actual NFL season. It's like the NFL, but slightly different.
Yeah.
It's like 3 or 4 different rule changes, and they're like, it's the XFL, it's the extreme football league. We don't have extra points. You have to go for a 2-point conversion instead. Like it's just there's barely any changes.
It's bad football with weird rules.
Yeah, we're gonna have worse players with a couple of different rules that'll be like, oh, that's different, and that's pretty much it.
Right. That's why I don't watch G League basketball.
What changes would you make if you wanted to make like a different football league? What changes would you guys make?
Trampolines.
But I thought that was a good idea for basketball. I really like that.
Slam ball?
At least it looked different.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
It was kind of, I mean, obviously you wouldn't like that. I can't really.
It looked like NBA. Slam ball looked like NBA Jam, where they got like 10 feet above the net, just threw it down.
That was awesome. At least it was something different.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, here, we're just going to show the NBA, but there's a 23-second clock instead.
Right. And everyone's a lot worse.
Yeah, we're going to have worse. Do you know they apparently talked to Colin Kaepernick and they couldn't negotiate a deal? He's like, I really want to play football again. Oh, there's this new league. We'll pay you to join the new league. And he's like, I guess you're still going to pay me enough. I'd rather just sit out and not play football.
That's
Instead of like going like, hey, I'm going to play in this league. I'll show you the NFL how good I am so I can get back to the NFL. He's like, nah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, it seems like a weird move.
Yeah, I mean, he's also like the Arena League exists. He can go play in Canada. He really wants to play in the NFL, but won't play football anywhere else.
Yeah.
I don't think he really cares about playing in the NFL.
That's what happens when you pay people $20 million a year. You don't give them any incentive to work again.
Yeah, I mean, he's whatever. He has lots of money. He doesn't have to work again. But he's this whole thing about how he like the NFL's screwing me. I'm like, you kind of played pretty bad before the NFL screwed you, and you don't seem like you really want to get back in the league. If you're putting up big numbers in another league, you'd be like, oh, he really deserves to get back in the league. But
I mean, if you paid me $20 million a year, I'd work for 1 to 2 years and then just stop.
Well, the other thing about the XFL as a quarterback, like they're trying to be like a tough guy league where there's no protection for the quarterback. So, like, I don't think he wants to go.
Are they doing that? There is no like you can just beat the crap out of the quarterback.
I thought. Well, I know the original XFL used to be like act like they were super violent. So I don't know if the new one is, but I think it's a little bit more like trying to get rough and tough. So if I'm a guy like Kaepernick, I'm like, well, I don't really want to go get the shit beat out of me to play in a minor league football team.
That's fair. I mean, someone made a good point about it. Also, I heard on the radio they were like to really build your league, you're gonna have to get like star players that everyone's gonna be really into. And as soon as someone's a star player in the XFL, the NFL will be like, hey, come play here instead, and be like, okay, I'll see you later.
All these football leagues are going about it the wrong way. All these ones that are trying to like be minor league or kind of partner with the NFL, whatever. What they need to do is get college players because they're going to pay you. So it's like if you could get some college, go to the colleges, be like, hey, you want to play for free here, and with where you can't take any money and all the NCAA bullshit, or you could come play in our league and we'll pay you $50,000. I'm not paying you a lot, but it's more than you're going to get in college. You're going to get to play. You're going to get experience because you're going to play with guys who were in the league. You're going to play with coaches who were in the league. So that's what their target should be, to try to get some college players.
Right, instead of competing with the NFL, compete with college football.
Yeah,
to get like their best players, and if you're good there, A, you'll get to the NFL, and B, you can sign endorsement deals. You don't have to wait.
Right, and everybody hates the NCAA, so this would be a good way to screw them over. And everybody in the world, except for me, watches college football. So people are gonna, if they can get a couple of stars from college football, people are gonna tune in to watch it.
That would be smart. That's really where they should go. Bri, you want to run the XFL? I've
been saying that for years. Every time they have one of these stupid leagues, I'm like, why aren't they trying to get college players? Because the college players want to get paid. So they could go there and get paid.
I mean, they could also say, like, listen, come play here and we'll pay for your 4-year education somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, we'll give you the scholarship you're getting anyway.
Yeah.
That seems like a brilliant idea.
Yeah. That's what
but also just taking shitty players that are worse than college and having them, like, play in some league with some dumb rules seems like a good idea also.
It's going to be hard to get like the star college player. You have to give them a lot of money. But if you could get like a couple of like pretty decent ones who kind of like guys who get kicked off their team and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean the thing is you're paying them. Let's say you're going to pay them $100,000 a year, which I don't know what the league can pay. You pay them $100,000 a year, they'll be like, well, I can save money for college, and if I want to do college, I can do college after, and this way I can.
It's $100,000 I'm not making in college for 4 years, so.
Or I can go to college and just do the XFL on the side. I don't know. I can do night school. I can do online Phoenix Online while I'm playing the XFL. I don't know. What the hell?
Phoenix.
Would you take an applicant seriously if you were like you're interviewing and they come to you and they're like, yeah, I graduated from University of Phoenix Online.
You're the recruiter. You tell us.
I mean, I don't count anyone that does that. Tell me, someone's applying for a job at your firm, Bri, and they're like, they're going to be your assistant. And they're like, look, I graduated cum laude from University of Phoenix Online.
No, congratulations.
So let's reenact the. Let's do the interview, Jay. Bry. Hi. My name is Joe, and I am here to interview to be your assistant at whatever the hell you do, Bry, at your job.
Oh, okay. Good. I could use an assistant.
Yes, I think it has something to do with math, and I majored in math at University of Phoenix online. I graduated cum laude. It was great going to college.
Did you ever wear pants during any of your classes?
Hello?
Hello?
Somehow you say that again.
I said, did you ever wear pants during any of your classes?
I went to, again, it's online, so no pants are required to go to class.
Okay.
But there's a video camera, a webcam, so they could see me from the chest upward. So I had to wear a shirt.
So you weren't pooping then?
No, I could not take class too often on the toilet.
Well, if you have a shirt on, I mean.
Can I ask a question? I don't know if this is the point of the interview where I can ask questions.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
Do I have to wear pants to work?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I just was wondering if you owned any pants. Since you're clearly a millennial and you went to school online, you probably just wear underwear all day.
I was going to wear boxers to the office. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Okay. You seem to be racist. Can you ask more questions?
This is a phone interview. How am I supposed to know that you're black?
Oh, I'm not. I'm white.
Oh.
I'm just saying you don't let me wear boxers, so I'm sure there's some racial thing there tied. I'm getting woke on you.
Oh, go cry on Instagram about it then. I'll call you if I need you for an assistant.
I graduated cum laude from University of Phoenix online.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I have
a podcast. How do you like that?
From the University of Phoenix online?
Yeah, School of Broadcasting.
Jay, would you hire someone from the University of Phoenix online?
No.
Jay, actually, Jay, if you went to interview and you like this job, and you're like, oh, I think I'm gonna get it, and they're like, Jay, we're sorry, we went with someone else. Oh, he must have really good credentials. He went to the University of Phoenix online, but sorry, he beat you out.
Last week I got interviewed with somebody who was from that school.
Oh, so this is more of a true story for you.
Yeah.
The person interviewing you was from that school?
I'm not sure if it was somebody interviewing me or I was looking at the people who worked at the company, and somebody in that company had that degree.
Was it like a like something where like they had the undergraduate degree and they were trying to get some kind of master's, like an extra degree?
I hope so.
What kind of job was it?
An accounting job.
Oh, I don't know why I just assume that. I mean, like, what kind of was this an accounting firm or?
No, it was just somebody in like the finance department.
Okay. I mean, what kind of company was it?
I don't know. I've been applying to so many jobs; they're all mixed up now.
I
get calls though, like, "Tell us why you're interested in this company." I'm like, I have no idea what your company is. I'm just applying to a lot of places.
That's actually Jay's actual answer to that question. Lack of luck. I don't know. Just give me a goddamn job. I hate my current job.
Right.
It's actually better than the answer we get from most applicants, but we still can't go with that. Any interviews coming up?
No.
What will it be like when Jay actually gets a new job and he's happy? What will a happy Jay be like?
We have to tune in to find out.
It'll be like Bizarre World.
Believe it or not, Brian and I were happy one time.
Yeah.
I was happy?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. It was a really long time.
No,
many moons ago.
The late 90s, early 2000s, Brian and I were in good moods.
Yeah.
Jay, well, Brian should be in a good mood. Someone just gave him a house.
Wait, what?
Did you not tune into the last episode when we found out someone bought Brian a house?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the Almost Lake House.
How is the Almost Lake House?
It's fine. I haven't been over there in a couple weeks, but
are you gonna? When are you gonna do the podcast from the house?
Oh yeah. Well, once I move in, for good, my computer's over there. We'll have to do it.
When are you moving in for good? I forgot.
So did I.
Over the summer, after the kid goes away to
probably
college.
summer. When the pool opens.
After the kid's out of school, finally.
Yeah, once the pool opens.
Tell me when he's moving out. I'll be there the day after.
Are you gonna bring your ghost with you?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, the ghost dog. Jay, has your girlfriend bought you a house since last episode?
No. We're gonna
That's
have to
messed up. She's not gonna keep up with Bry's girlfriend.
Gonna have to have a long talk about this.
You make it better. Make her listen to the last episode.
Yeah.
Make her understand a good girlfriend buys their boyfriend a house.
Where's my lake house? Almost lake
Yeah.
house. Where's my within 10 miles of a lake house?
Yeah.
Where's my 10 miles of running water house?
I did
Where's
have
my house without black mold?
I did have my kitchen flooded yesterday though.
Why did you lead the show with that?
I don't know. So much bad shit happens to me. I don't even remember to tell you guys about it anymore.
You're like, Jay's like, actually, a cobra bit me while we were on the show. It's on. I'm the venom's actually killing me right now.
Jay's like, I'm calling you from the intensive care unit. There was a little explosion in my house.
Jay's like, I actually have the coronavirus. I've been. I can't.
Patient zero.
Patient zero. What happened with your kitchen, Jay?
So between my sink and my refrigerator, we have a cabinet unit that's, like kind of high up. And that's where we keep our cups and our plates. And so in the morning, I opened it and there's just water pouring into it. And so I called the landlord and I said, my kitchen's flooding, need some help. And so he called the crazy lady upstairs and he said, I need to fix your kitchen. It's flooding the downstairs. Are you home? And she said, no, I'm in the hospital. And I heard her walking back and forth. So she just she's so crazy. She didn't want anybody in the apartment. And she just lied and said she was in the hospital. And so I called him back and I said, no, she's home right now. She's lying. Please go fix this. You can't make this shit up.
Wow. So what happened next?
So he called the plumber. He figured out what the problem was, but he had to get parts or whatever. So I had to keep like pots and buckets like in my kitchen until he came back with the plumber. So it was fun. It was really good times.
Oh, that sounds awesome, Jay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great.
So now you really like apartment living.
It's so funny because in the middle of all this, I just yelled out to my girlfriend. I'm like, and Mark doesn't understand why I want a fucking house.
Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, and then that night, my downstairs neighbor decided at I think 5 a.m. to just wake up early for work and practice his DJ beats. And it's just like, this
do you live in a comedy skit?
My life is a comedy skit.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
My life is like season 8 of The Office where you're like, this got too over the top. It's unbelievable.
It's like Jay also, like Jay would move, but his rent is low enough that he can't afford anything else around him. He's living in black mold, which is killing him. His neighbors are like atrocious, and he's just like stuck there basically.
Yeah, I mean, the same exact apartment on the same floor as mine just got rented out for $700 more a month. So that's how much the neighborhood went up since I moved in. So I'm basically stuck.
If your landlord gets you out, they could rent it for a lot more.
Yes, but I'm also like not causing damage to the building, which is costing him hundreds of dollars. Plus, there's been a lot of turnover in some of the other apartments, and every month you don't have somebody there is a shitload of money. So like, I think the fact that I'm always paying rent on time and I keep the apartment in good condition, he likes me. He'd rather me there than like get the extra money and take the risks of getting another insane person who floods the apartment every other week.
No, that makes perfect sense. It's just funny at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, the one upstairs, she's been here he said he bought the building like 25 years ago, and she was already here. Like, she came with the building. So she's probably paying like half of what I'm paying. So it would probably be cheaper for him to hire a hitman and murder her.
You guys could probably split it.
Next time she floods my apartment, I might just bring that up. Like, just throw this out there.
I mean, like, what are the chances they're even going to solve that crime?
Right. I mean, just saying if she happened to have an accident, it might be a little cheaper for you. She could probably hear me through the walls right now.
Probably, yeah.
Motherfucker.
Can she call into the show?
No.
Could you just be like, hey, I have a podcast? And she'd be like, I know. I hear you do it every week. Why don't you even talk about the Knicks? The Knicks suck.
She wouldn't answer if I knocked on her door to ask her. She pretends she's not home.
I'm in the hospital. Or I hear you saying you're in the hospital from your apartment.
He had to pound on the door yelling for about 15 minutes before she admitted she was home.
What did you say when he
Crazy.
said, like, why did you lie? Do you have that part of the conversation? Like, hey, why were you lying?
No, I couldn't hear clearly. I just heard yelling.
Okay.
At one point I heard, what do you mean you won't let me in? I just started laughing.
Awesome. Any
Yeah.
other bad things happen to you, Jay?
This is just me just telling you about how sad my life is. This is the podcast now.
It's like a weird confession.
Yeah, why not? No offense, Jay. Why not?
So I was thinking of
It's the best part is Jay's like, I have more.
Just like I have a whole list. This is page 2 of the list.
Well, I was
Anyway, I don't have a big toe anymore.
I was thinking of doing the Work HJ podcast.
You were thinking of doing it?
Yeah, I was actually thinking of starting to record it.
Holy crap, that'd be amazing, Jay.
Mm.
So for people who haven't heard before, I was thinking of doing a self-help podcast. And it's daily, but it's only 5 minutes. And I'll just tell one story that happened to me at work. And it's self-help because it'll make you feel better about your life because everything that happens to me at work is terrible.
Yeah. So the basic premise is you'll feel better because Jay's life is miserable.
Right. So,
so what were you going to go on?
I was thinking of telling you a sample story.
Oh, okay. Brought you up for a sample story?
Oh, sure.
So this is not so much bad thing that happened to me. This is just an example of complete incompetence, which I have to put up with. So I think it's also fitting.
Okay.
So there's 2 managers who have an office, and they review our invoices. And when we do invoices, twice a day, we put the invoices in their office for them to review. So they were both out of the office yesterday. Okay. And when the office is closed, security locks everyone's office at night. So if they don't come in the morning, the office stays locked. So my boss has this idea that she is going to review the invoices instead of those 2 managers. So what would you do if we were going to give the invoices to her instead of them? What would you tell your employees?
Give me the invoices.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea, yeah.
Okay, Bri stole my answer. Go on, Jay.
Okay. So you wouldn't say, call security to have the door unlocked and then walk around individually to each employee, even though we have a chat program that can message everybody at once, and tell each employee individually to put the invoices in their office so that she can then go into their office and take the invoices out of their office and put it on her desk to review.
I know you want this to be your lead story for the first episode.
Okay. But it's insane, right?
It's very illogical.
Mm-hmm.
And practical.
It just seems like calling security and having people put stuff in an empty office so you can take it back out of the office seems completely insane to me.
No, that does seem like it sucks.
Okay. So maybe I'll make that the 4th episode.
Yeah, 4th episode. You want to leave with some bigger episodes first.
Maybe just something that happens personally to me.
Yeah. Make it more personal, Jay. Work hates Jay, not work hates everyone.
So I can start off with getting accused of faking your certificate.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay.
That'd be a good pilot.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a good pilot.
Okay.
I love that. Are you really going to do this? Because it'd be amazing.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking I can just get up in the morning when I'm already cranky and just and just tell a 5-minute story and And two of my coworkers said they'll just feed me stuff that happens to them too, so I can use their stories if I run out of material, which I won't.
I mean, you'll ask people. You can also ask people to tell you their bad. Like send in their bad stories. You can read other people's bad stories also.
That is true.
Like it could just be like work hates Jay. It could be like work hates you and hates the rest of America.
That is true.
Work sucks.
Yeah.
You know when people say like, you gotta love what you do? I'm like, fuck you.
So email thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com if you think this you would like to hear 5-minute work stories.
Let's do another one. Let's do a better pilot episode. Go, Jay.
All right. So in November, I think each episode I'll make like it happened like the day before. So anyway, okay. So I just got my certification in SQL, which is a programming language, and we have this chat program where you can tell your accomplishments to the rest of the department. And so I posted a picture of my certificate to the department, expecting congratulations or whatever. And one of the managers came over and looked at me and said, something doesn't add up. So I said, what are you talking about? She goes, I know you, and you wouldn't have paid money for this certificate. And she's like, I looked it up, and it cost $900. So it was the day after class, so I actually had the receipt in my bag. So I took it out, and I said, you think I faked this? And I had the certificate and the receipt for the class. And she goes, yes. And she just laughed and walked away. And
that was Work Hates Jay.
And that was Work Hates Jay, episode 1.
Yes, I like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you think that's all right?
Yeah, I think a daily episode of you, a daily, it doesn't have to be even 5 minutes. Sounds like you have like 2 minutes of material there. That's fine. Have a catchy have some kind of theme song. Work Hates Jay. Work Hates Jay. Work Hates Jay. Hi, I'm back. I'm back. I'm going to tell you about Work Hates Me. Here's my story this week.
I mean, I figure between like an intro and then the outro where I give the email address and stuff, it'll be like a 2-minute story with like, info on it.
You should have like 2.5 minutes of like just introductions of like we're on the Blue Wire Network and we're on this podcast network. Email us at this and like the first 2.5 minutes of that.
Your opening music should be like happy and like exciting, and then your closing music should be like downing, like a downer,
like Mad World.
Like you're all excited, and then you tell the story, and it's like
you should have 2 minutes of show, and then your closing song is Inagata Vita, all 8 minutes long.
Inagata Vita, 17 minutes long.
Sorry, all 17 minutes long. Wow, this podcast is like 25 minutes. Probably a lot of good content. And they're like, okay, that's why I hate show. It seems like ending at the 3-minute mark. I like the idea. I think it would be good. I just you have to have a good like first episode where you're really like, I'm Jay. Work hates me. I'm going to tell stories about work hating me to make you feel better about your job.
I'd be explaining the whole premise. Like,
yeah.
Or that could be your intro, like a 30-second, like just say that like every episode.
Yeah. By the way,
that's actually good. Work hates me. I'll tell you why.
Inagata Vita is 17 minutes and 2 seconds. I got that off the top of my head.
That's pretty good. I bet that knowledge is helpful at work.
jlovesmusic.com.
jlovesmusic.com. Go to. Have you updated J Loves Music in the last 5 months?
No, I've been practicing guitar instead.
How's guitar going?
Very slow. It's a very difficult instrument.
No shit, really?
I can almost play Wild Thing and I Love Rock and Roll.
Maybe you should have Music Hates Jay, where each episode you talk about a different instrument and how it's hard. Did you know playing the violin? Not that easy. Tune in tomorrow for what else is not that easy.
Playing the drums, you have to use all your limbs.
Do you know the triangle? Even that's not that easy. I thought, cymbals, I slam things together. How hard could it be? I didn't keep up with the group.
Turns out there's a lot of rhythm involved.
Maybe just each day you tell the listener something else that's not easy. Did you know running a marathon, not easy. You have to train for it. Not going to do that. Tune in tomorrow.
I ran 2 miles and couldn't run anymore. I still had 24.2 miles to go. Marathons, they're hard.
I run marathons over the course of a couple of years.
Did you know that the CPA is really hard?
Did you know once you get the CPA, doing something with it is really hard as well?
You still can't get a job. It's great.
It makes it all worth it. Life's awesome. It's gonna feel really good though. You finally it's like with the Knicks. Like when the Knicks finally win, we'll feel really great about it. When Jay finally gets a job he likes, he'll feel really good about that job.
They'll probably both be in the same year.
The best part is when I'm just like, I am putting my notice effective immediately. It's gonna feel so good.
Yeah. Let's go over that. Why don't we do that, Jay? Jay, I see you coming to my office. I've noticed you have a very successful podcast called Work Hates Jay, where you just talk shit about me every day. What the hell's your problem, Jay?
I don't use any names. I don't know why you think it's you.
Okay. Maybe because you emailed to me and you say this is about you every day.
Maybe.
Okay. So you're here. I suppose you're here to tell me you got a certificate in Bequal or Nequal or like some other coding thing you made up.
No, I'm not faking certificates anymore.
See, you did it. I knew it. I was right. Joe in accounting is going to owe me money.
No, you know what? How I really want to do it. I want them to ask me to do something so benign. Like
I think you want to do like one of those like reveals. Like they're gonna cut into the cake and they see instead of like red or like blue or pink for like boy or girl, it'll be like some kind of I quit thing, right?
No, this is what I'm really gonna do.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
When they say like, "Can you just reprint this invoice?" I just be like, "I can't take this anymore. I quit." It's something so benign. Just click one button, and I just be like, "That's the last straw. I can't do it. I'm out."
Well, that was like our episode. What the episode we talked about the 9 lives thing, where you're like, could you just please help me with this? I'm just gonna kill myself instead.
Yeah.
Like because it'd be great because then like people will be using their 9 lives for like if Bernie Sanders wins New Hampshire, I'm gonna kill myself. Then like last night, 3 million people used one of their 9 lives. That'd be amazing, actually. How you see how people use their 9 lives in like the dumbest possible ways.
Oh, the world would be so hilarious because there would be those idiots who wasted 8 like immediately. It's like day 2, and they're already on like their 9th life, and then they get hit by a car by accident or something.
You know the ice bucket challenge? There'd be like people would be using their 9 lives on like some like stupid like charity thing where like people are like, hey, you only have a certain amount of those. You shouldn't kill yourself for charity, but it's for charity.
It's the hot acid challenge.
Getting your head cut off for charity.
The guillotine challenge for charity.
That would be pretty amazing. Why did we have to? By the way, that wasn't in our top our Brink 9 lives. That should have been on there.
I didn't even remember we did that.
Okay. Well, do you remember it now?
No.
Okay, cool.
I drink a lot on this show.
I kind of remember it.
Because Brian kind of brought it up because he had the idea of like he had something big. You had a fight with
Yeah,
his
I remember.
like
I was at my girlfriend's house, and I just remember like thinking it would be like a cool thing to like if I was sitting on the couch watching TV, and she made me breakfast, and I was like, "All right, here, can you refill my bowl?" And then as soon as she turned around, I just shot myself.
honey, I got us a house. Is it near a lake? No. Boom. Blows his brains out right there.
This is like a random thing. Like you walk through the office and be like, "Oh shit, there's no creamer in the fridge."
I'm really sorry. I didn't realize I ate your sandwich in the refrigerator. I thought it was my sandwich. It's totally fine, Bill. It's totally
That's
fine.
okay.
Just hang yourself right in front of it. You take acid right in front of him, just like you're like and just like fall apart. If the Joker's not as good as everyone's saying, I'm gonna kill myself in the theater. Bri, you were watching the Oscar movies?
Yes, I saw all 9 of the Best Picture nominees.
Okay, so how is the winner, Parasite?
Jay, you would like it.
Yeah.
Couple of hot Korean chicks.
I'm in.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I have a question. Jay, just so since you bring that up, Jay, do you when you're attracted to Asian girls, is there certain like are you certain is there like I'm into Korean, Thai, and Vietnamese, but I'm not into Chinese girls? Do you differentiate at all?
Well, there's a hierarchy, yeah.
What's the hierarchy?
Japanese, then Korean.
Where's Thai go? And by the way, your girlfriend's listening.
Maybe fourth, fifth. Yeah.
So maybe your girlfriend's gonna test out tonight if you really do have 9 lives.
I mean, I'm not saying her specifically. I'm just saying in general.
I know you are. So how is Parasite?
It was okay.
If you got to give it out of 10, what would you give it?
It's like a 5 or a 6, I think.
Give me what would be a movie that'd be like a 10 for you?
All right, so the best of the 9 pictures, the movies that were.
Before you do that, tell me what your all-time favorite movie is. Like just get a sense of what movies you like.
I hate doing this. I don't know.
It's just if you told me like here are 3 movies, not maybe your all-time favorites, 3 movies you think are really great.
21 Grams.
Okay.
Gladiator.
Okay.
Very Bad Things.
Very Bad Things.
Okay, so I like one of those 3.
Okay.
Very Bad Things.
Yeah, Very Bad Things. I mean, Gladiator's okay, and
it was Very Bad Things.
Okay. What'd you say?
It was Very Bad Things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of those 3, I definitely go with Very Bad Things by far of the 3.
Well, this is.
I like Gladiator's like okay. I think Gladiator's a little overrated, and I think 21 Grams is a little bit overrated.
This is why we're friends. The 3 of us all think that Very Bad Things is better than Gladiator.
Yeah. Hell, definitely. Okay, so Bri, tell us, Bri, give us your movie reviews.
All right, so I saw all 9 of the movies that were nominated for Best Picture.
By the way, I prefer this to the Oscars. Like, it's not even. I would so much rather hear Bri talk about this than watch the Oscars.
My favorite movie of all 9 was Joker.
Okay.
I watched it again. Because they have a marathon, so I went over the last 2 Saturdays and I watched them all, and then the 2 Netflix ones I watched at home on Netflix. But the second time I saw Joker, I liked it a lot better than the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Jay, did you see this yet? You saw it, right?
I watched it last week for the first time.
Okay, so we can talk about it like openly.
Yeah.
We can talk about it without worrying about spoilers. Why do you like it better the second time?
I don't know. It just seemed to go. It didn't seem as slow the second time. Maybe because I knew everything that was going to happen, but it just seemed like it went by faster and it was a little bit more. I don't know. It just like after it was over, I was like, oh wow, I liked that a lot better than I remembered.
I don't think I'd ever watch it a second time.
Yeah, I would have tried. I don't know if I'd love seeing it a second time. Maybe it would be. Maybe it would be better a second time. It just seems like I'm one of those like you watch it once, and you're like, I'm good.
I felt like I needed a shower after I watched it.
It's very, very creepy. I remember seeing it being like maybe he's going to win Best Actor for this,
which he did.
Yeah, which he did. Yeah. I understand. It was his performance is a little over the top. There's a little bit too much dancing. Like every 5 seconds, he's doing another like dance number.
Yeah,
I thought there was not enough dancing.
Jay, you're lying.
The second best movie was Jojo Rabbit.
I heard that's awesome. I heard that was really good.
Really good.
What's that about? I've heard the name, but I don't know anything.
It's like a dark comedy / satire set in World War II Germany, and there's this little kid who has his imaginary friend is Hitler, and he is enlisted in like the Nazi youth army or something, where they take all these kids and they're kind of like trying to break them into like act like they hate Jews and stuff like that. Anyways, he gets kicked out of that, and then he gets blown up because he throws a grenade. He lands on a grenade and he gets blown up, and then he's home alone all day, and he finds out that his mother is hiding a Jew in the attic or in a secret compartment of their house. So he kind of like first he meets her and he's like afraid of her, and then he like hates her, and then he starts to like her, and like Hitler's his best friend, so Hitler's telling him to like, you know, turn her in and stuff like that, and it's really funny and really smart and really well done.
It's a weird freaking movie. Is this out in the theater still? Or
It might be back in the theaters just because of the Oscars, but
okay.
I know it's on like Amazon Prime. I think you can like you have to pay for it, but it's like on like whatever. But it was really good. Like I recommend it.
Okay. So would this one have won Best Picture for you?
I would have been okay if that won Best Picture. The best, like, okay, this is gonna sound weird, but like the movie I liked the best was Joker, but the best movie that I saw was 1917. But it wasn't my favorite movie. But I recognize that, like, given the totality of everything, it was the best movie.
Do you think we would have if World War One and World War Two didn't happen? Like, would we have movies? Like, why is every movie about like these two wars?
Seriously.
The only problem I had with 1917 was, did you guys ever see Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1917 reminded me of like the middle hour of Saving Private Ryan, like after the beach and before like the final, after they found Matt Damon and had their big battle. It was like when they were like going across the country to like find him, and they were just like in a group, and they it was like little pockets of like resistance, and they met people and stuff like that. It was kind of like that, only it was like two guys. So it was just a lot of them just talking, and it was like this built up intensity because you kept thinking something was going to happen like at every turn, which made it good. But then, something didn't happen, then something does happen, something did, but and the way they made it so it was all one shot was really cool too.
Yeah. So you'd say this 1917 should have won?
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't.
Okay.
Well,
maybe
go ahead.
I was saying they got so much shit in the past for like choosing the same movies every year, basically, or it's like all white people and stuff. Like this is like a real like, not that they have to choose Parasite because of diversity, but it's obviously a much different than anything else they've ever chosen.
Well, here's the thing with Parasite. I think it's better than I think it is, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
So
without ruining it, because I do want to see this movie.
Yeah, I would recommend you watch it. My problem with the movie is that all these people are like, oh, it's so unique and it's so different, and it's really not. The only difference about it is that it's in Korean and you have to read subtitles the whole time. But anyways, so on Saturday I went to a movie marathon where there was 4 movies. It was Jojo Rabbit, then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, then Parasite, and then 1917. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was the worst piece of shit movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Yes, it was horrible.
Some people tell me they don't like it, but I've heard so many people also have told me they love it.
They thought
it was so good.
Why was it so dreadful?
I want to see this also. Why? Someone today told me it was really good.
First of all, the whole storyline with Leonardo DiCaprio was unnecessary to the movie. So that's like an hour and a half they could have got rid of right there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I don't want to spoil the movie.
Don't
but
spoil
anyway, yeah. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But here's the thing. So the movie was so bad, and I was so angry that I watched it, that I couldn't really calm down for like the first 45 minutes of Parasite, because I was just sitting there. I was just stewing in my seat. I was so mad. And I'm like, I don't give a shit about this movie. I don't feel like reading these subtitles, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? And then like all of a sudden I was like, oh, actually, this isn't bad. And then I got engaged, with the movie and was watching it and everything. So like I have it as sort of like a 5 or a 6. It might be a 6 or a 7 if I go back and think about it more, like in a calmer state of mind.
So what's 1917 for you? What number? Like a 10?
It was probably like an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you put Irishman?
Irishman was the second worst movie of the bunch.
Wait, what was the worst? So this is
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I thought was the worst. Irishman was second to worst.
Okay, that's saying a lot. Because at least what I thought of Irishman.
I didn't think the Irishman was bad. It's just all the other movies were surprisingly good.
I thought watching it being like, oh, they could have made a better movie.
Like even Little Women was better than the Irishman, I thought. And I had no interest at all in seeing that.
I didn't realize that was not.
Yeah.
Is that just the old like a remake?
Yeah.
Little Women.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing. Anything like. What were the other movies?
Ford versus Ferrari. That was actually pretty good.
I don't want to see that one. That one sounds kind of.
Yeah, and
I figured that had to be good because or else it wouldn't have been nominated.
Yeah,
not just in the sense of like it sounds like a movie that would not be nominated normally.
Right. And Marriage Story was on Netflix. And that was actually, I thought was pretty good.
That one seems so depressing.
It kind of, it seemed very real. So like watching it, you could kind of just, like,
so a couple, I'm not going to see this one, but the couple gets married and then gets divorced, right?
Well, yeah, they're getting they're married before the movie and they're getting divorced as the movie's starting. So it's like just them going through a divorce, but it just felt very real because, like, she was trying to fuck over him, and then she got like Laura Dern was her lawyer, and she was a real bitch, like asking for money and asking for this, and he was kind of just like, I thought we were gonna do this like amicably, like you're sandbagging me with this lawyer, and it just kind of steamrolls from there. But
yeah, I don't know. That one sounds kind of depressing.
yeah.
But I'm sure it's good. Jay, have you seen any of these?
Just
you saw the Joker, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Did you think the Joker should have won, Jay?
Based on what I've seen, it was definitely number one.
Brian, you definitely see the most movies of us.
Well, I always go to the movie marathon. That's the only time I ever go to the movies, really.
I mean, it's kind of cool that your town does that, or that they have that. Like that would be like I would, if not for kids, that's something I would definitely would do.
I've been going for like 10 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that's how long they've been having it. I skipped a couple of years when the movies are shitty, but
what was the best year you remember seeing for movies?
They all blend together, so I wouldn't remember like what movies were in what year, but like I thought Frost vs. Nixon was really good. I thought the Hurt Locker was good.
I started watching BoJack Horseman.
Before we get to that, were you watching The Mandalorian? You said you were watching Mandalorian.
I watched one episode of that, but you were so into BoJack that I paused that and went back to BoJack Horseman. Should I go to back to Mandalorian?
No, I just had a question about Mandalorian. I wanted to ask you.
I only watched the first episode. I haven't watched anything else. I gotta watch more.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler or a story question. It's a technical question, but I'll wait till you watch more because you might not know the answer. So,
okay.
So what do you think of BoJack?
I hope the second season is good. Like, it's not bad. It's just not that compelling.
It gets better. The first season isn't. I don't even really remember much of the first season, but like
I remember you saying the first season kind of sets everything up, and I know that happens on shows. It just seems like the first season, it's fine. There's some funny lines on it. It's
the thing. It's like you think it's a comedy, and it sort of seems like it plays as a comedy, but as it goes on, it becomes more of a drama, like more than comedy, because it gets real dark, like with some of the stuff that he did and does. So it becomes less of a comedy and more of like a introspective kind of show.
Okay. No, I know like the first season is supposed to like just not even you, but like the reviews of the first season are like, oh, this is a fine, like not that amazing comedy, and then like after the first season, like the critics rave about the show.
Yeah, there's like a lot of like subtle comedy and sight gags and stuff and puns and like with all the characters being animals. Some of them do like animal stuff, which is kind of funny. But
I mean, I like the publisher, the Penguin publisher. I think.
I
enjoy that. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
And there's a million, like every episode has like a famous guest star, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I've noticed that also. It's like I think I've watched the first 5 episodes, so I'm not that far into it. But
yeah, I mean, it like builds itself up, and then there's like a lot of there's a lot of episodes you'll watch that seem unnecessary and don't really fit in, and then they like make more sense later on.
Okay, so everything builds on itself more.
Yeah, like the whole show is like one long storyline. There's not like one thing that resolves it and then it starts over. It kind of just keeps snowballing.
I mean,
the last like season and a half is just really incredible.
Wow, you say incredible.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying like it doesn't seem like a show that would get to incredible.
Or I'm
going to keep going. My plan right now is to keep going through season 2. If I really like it, I'll keep going from there. But I want to make it through one of the seasons that's supposed to be really good.
There's like a whole episode about like gun control. I told you there's a hilarious episode about abortion.
That I want to see. Yeah, that sounds funny.
I'm trying to think. There's a lot of
because I mean, it just. I don't know why it's so much harder to accept a show like cartoon for like. I think of cartoons being funny. Like I watch The Simpsons and be like, "This is hilarious."
Yeah.
But like this show is like, the jokes are like it's all right, and because they have some good humor in it, and some things are a little bit like, But I can't see the show being a compelling drama.
You just have to like understand like how self-destructive he is and how little self-control he has, and that's sort of like a theme through the whole movie or the whole show.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'll keep watching and see and let you know what I think when we get to season 2. I've been watching that, and I've been watching Veep a lot. I still Veep is great.
The last 2.5 seasons of Veep were probably the best.
Yeah, it keeps getting better. It's one of the I think very few shows get better as they go along.
I think once she became president, I think that's when it hit its peak.
Yeah, the show got so much better when she became president. And really from there, all the characters, they had developed so many good characters, and they really could use all the characters so much better.
Yeah.
I watched maybe the episode 2 or 3 of the season 6, I guess. Where I know you told me Jonah's going to run for president, and I'm very you can see him gearing up to get there. I'm like, oh, he's such an amazing character.
His campaign is just insane. His campaign is just so funny.
He was the episode I saw this morning. He had I watched on the train this morning. He was had a whole big thing about daylight savings.
Yeah, he wanted to get rid of that.
Yeah, which that was great. Jay, do you want to talk, Jay? We haven't been talking about Power Jay.
I think we're about out of time.
That's fine.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else going on with you guys?
I don't think so.
No. I'm gonna try and figure out how to get the 64 bracket on Excel before the next show, so we can do that. But
oh, good. So we have a while till the next show.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. The Brink of Sanity at gmail.com, Brink of Sanity 3 on Twitter, and I don't know. Find us on Instagram and blah blah blah.
Work Hates Jay, a podcast coming from Jay.
All right. We'll be back soon. Goodbye, everybody.
See you.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say